Okay, here we are on the second part of the video on how to photograph arcade machines for their side art in order to replace them or make new ones for machines that never had them in the first place. So in this video we're gonna discuss lighting. I'm gonna be using, since this is a miniature, some lights, some spotlights, some fake lights. You can't photograph, of course, with those lights a real machine due to size, but you can see the results here in the small scale. Now, when you're photographing a machine, you want the lighting to be as uniform as possible in the different areas of the machine. You want it to be the same quantity of light here, 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 and everywhere. Arcade machines are naturally flat, so your lights are gonna cover the whole area of the machine. Now, if you have no lights at all, it is best to photograph the arcade machine in the open. Let's say, for example, you have a garage and you can place your arcade machine outside the garage. It is best to photograph the arcade machine outside in a day where the sky is cloudy. This is because the light will uniformly light the entirety of the machine. Imagine that this is the sky with clouds, it's a white paper, and you have the sun above it. The result should be that the entirety of the machine is lit exactly the same. This is the easiest way to do it perfect, and you have no annoying glares due to this fact. Now, if you're gonna photograph an arcade machine in an inside environment, you can imitate this trick by using a light, a very powerful light, and turning it to the ceiling. If you turn your light to the ceiling and you have a white ceiling, it's gonna do pretty much the same thing. It's gonna light the entirety of the machine uniformly. Now, the absolute professional way to do it is to use light directly onto the machine. But to do that correctly, you have to have more than one light. And that is because, again, this is small scale, so it's gonna be very hard to see. But if you do it with a real machine, you can definitely see the difference in the results. Now, my light is placed on the right side of the machine. So, the distance from here to here is much lower than the distance from here to here. If you had a pinball machine, this would be much more evident, because the pinball machine is like that, and you can see the difference that you have here from here, and therefore this part will be better lit, while this will be darker. Now, to achieve perfection with this, you have to have two lights, one on either side of the machine. So you can turn the two lights until you find the sweet spot where both lights illuminate the center of the machine equally as the two ends of the machine, and then you have the perfect picture. Now, why is this technique very useful? This technique is very useful because in a home environment or in a closed space, you will have multiple light sources that are not matched to each other. For example, you're gonna have a yellowy lamp, like this one here, and then you're gonna have blue lamps like those two there. And the mixing of those lamps together is often creating problems in the image. Now, to overcome these problems, I'm having some technical difficulties with the camera. To overcome these problems, you use two powerful lights to illuminate the machine equally, and you usually turn off every other light in the room. And that is if you're after the best results, of course.